Hello and welcome to the Stress Mastery Podcast. My name is Peggy Romero, and I thank you so much for joining me today for the Saturday podcast. This week we've been talking about essence. So here's the definition. The intrinsic nature or indispensable quality of something, especially something abstract that determines its character. A property or group of properties of something without which it would not exist or be what it is. So then I consider that definition as it pertains to us, the human being, the nature or quality that determines who we are. A combination of properties that without them, we would not be us. I wouldn't be me. We wouldn't be who we are. Well, the idea, that definition led me to realize we don't live our essence. We don't live as who we were created to be. Because we're programmed, and those programs are not us. And that identity that we live, that persona that we've chosen, the life that we live, it isn't even us, because it's not our essence, truly. We have to decide to live out the life that we were born to live. We have to live that way intentionally and purposefully. We were born free of programming. We were born in love and freedom. We were born with purpose and on purpose. We were free to love and live a life full of love and connected to the Holy Spirit and to God. But now we have the ego driving our behavior. So it was short-lived, right? As we were programmed, we lost our connection to our true self. As Bill discussed on Thursday, we wind up living in the red zone. Low red zone as a victim, depressed. Mid red zone in fear and avoidance. High red zone, stressed out, frustrated, and always wanting more. But how do we get more out of this life? How do we get out of that constant state of wanting? Well, we can start by making a decision to recognize and accept the core essence of stress mastery, which is, I'm sure you remember, understand the function operation of the human being and using that understanding to create the life that you truly desire. The core essence is true. Truth is, remember, true for one, true for all. And this is true for every single one of us. We're all alike in this way. We all have a programmed identity, not the essence that you were born with, not that identity, but the identity that you were told to have, taught to have. The identity that you put in place because it works for you. It keeps you comfortable. That's the construct, right? But I say, let's decide to deconstruct. Let's decide to reconstruct. Because here's the good news. Even though we were programmed never to change, we still can. But we have to be able to make it a priority. We have to have the courage to do it. We have to change our habits and our routines if we're going to change. Remember, we were programmed at a young age. The first two stages of development, impulsive mind and imperial mind. Then the ego is created, and then we're set to live this way in stage 3 socialized mind for the rest of our life. At the age of 16, we're set to live out these programs for the rest of our life. We're like little computers taking it all in and then acting like little apprentices, learning who we are, learning who to be, but it was according to them, not according to our true essence, not according to ourselves, our heart, not according to the Creator himself, God. So yes, we live in the comfort zone and we are designed not to change. But we all want to change, don't we? That's the funny part. We all want to live a better life. We understand that if we're going to change, we're going to have to do things differently. And then, sure enough, we fight change every time. Seriously. We do, don't we? Constantly trying to bring the past into the present. We never quit doing that. We make plans to change. We set goals. We make declarations to ourselves like, never again, and today is the day. And then all of this resistance comes and we decide not to make the change. It's too hard, we tell ourselves. I'll try tomorrow or next week. I'm having a bad day today. Maybe I'll try next year. Oh, January 1st sounds good. But guys, if we want to live a life representing our true essence, being ourself, being the real us, we have to make changes. We have to decide to self-author our own lives because nobody can be you but you. And we don't want to miss out on who we really are, right? So take a look at the world we live in. We live for other people all the time. I mean, not intentionally, but I ask you, how many times have you decided against or negated what you needed in order to make another person happy? We want to be approved of, or we want to belong. And remember, 95% of our behavior is dictated by what is held in mind. So I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm asking you to change your mind. I'm asking you to connect with your true self. Get to know you, your purpose, your values, and make a decision based on that for you. In Stress Mastery, we learn to release the wants and allow our purpose to move us forward. No longer, surging ahead with mimetic desire, but with the desires of our heart. Live the life that you were meant to be. It doesn't matter what the world wants. I get it. Getting recognition from others is a driving force. It's real. But expectation leads to resentment. It's just more programming. But when you do things for other people, you have to have no attachment to what their response is going to be. You just do it and don't even expect a thank you. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because it's who you truly are, connected to your, yourself, to your values. It's not up to you if they're grateful or not. It's important for you to live for yourself, not based on what others think about you or will think or feel about you because of this or that. Waiting to be accepted and approved of by others will never work. It leads to making choices based on ideas and judgments of other people, not your own, not yourself. It's crazy because, believe me, I've done it, so I know. You end up losing who you are. If you do this, they will be happy. If I do that, they may think this or that. If I do all of these things, then they're going to have to understand me, or they're going to have to see what I'm saying, or whatever it is that you're trying to control. You may be trying to make someone else happy, maybe seeking recognition from your boss, or your spouse, or your parent. Maybe you're trying to climb the corporate ladder. But are you happy at heart? Are you living with purpose? If not, why? If you wanted to make them happy, and they're happy, why aren't you? If you got the promotion or that big fat bonus, are you happy now? Are you fulfilled? If not, why not? If we're not living a self-authored life, we can never be truly content. I promise you. When we live in the red zone, we live a life of suffering, trying to live out the expectations of others at the cost of self. And it can be for anyone, kids, boss, teacher, parents, anyone but you. I decided to self-author, to move forward, to live on purpose, connected to God, to live in peace and love and joy. And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of realization about yourself. And it never ends. Remember, there's no finish line to personal development. So I've finally become well aware that Lucy, my ego, is very controlling. And I say finally because I finally get it. I see it all the time now, where I was completely blind before. It took me decades of people telling me that I was controlling to see it, to be able to understand it. Always trying to gain control of my own life by controlling others. I have to ask myself constantly now, all day long, is that my job? Is that my task? Is that my business or my responsibility? This has helped me with my relationships, all my relationships, including with my family. I was always the big sister, and I felt compelled, responsible to take care of everything. And I mean everything, whether they wanted me to do it or not. So, of course, I ended up taking this program, these habits. They were handed down to the way I raised my kids and the way I still try to raise my kids, even though they're all stinking grown adults. It followed me to all of my interpersonal relationships. I'm a doer. I'm a problem solver. And sometimes I'm really happy that I'm like that because it helps me take care of my own stuff, but other people don't really want me to do it. I mean, it makes you a Badinsky, and nobody likes a Badinsky. So this happened to me at my workout class a few months ago, and it kind of slammed me like a ton of bricks. I got so preoccupied with this lady that always comes. She comes every day. It's clear that she doesn't put a ton of effort in. Okay, well, miscontrolling me. I wanted her to do better. Why? I don't know. I'm not sure. But here's my thought process. She's always here anyways. She might as well put in a little bit more effort. She obviously cares about herself, or she wouldn't be getting here at 6:45 in the morning. If she would just raise her arms all the way up over her head, or totally lift her feet off the floor, or kick a little higher, or use more weight, she'd get so much more out of this workout if she'd just put in a little more effort. Why doesn't she fully extend her arms and legs? It would make the hour so much more worthwhile. You guys, I get it. I know. While I'm judging her, I'm missing out on getting the full benefit of my own workout. I know. She stands in the same spot every day, and I was driving myself nuts, so I positioned myself in a spot where I can't see her in any of the mirrors. Thank God I made the decision not to talk to her about it because, that's not beyond me either. So, am I the teacher? No. Did I have any sort of relationship with her a couple months ago? No. Did I even know her name? No. So, in order to help myself, I stopped paying attention to her intentionally, just focused on myself. I'm so controlling. I had to use the let go technique. I had to use my journaling. I had to meditate about it and pray about it. Talk about a Badinsky. The thing is, I've always been able to justify my actions because I'm not negative. I was never once thinking, wow, she's lazy, she should raise her hands higher. It really comes from my heart. I don't know if judgment can really come from your heart, but I just wanted her to utilize her time more wisely. Anyways, I know it's none of my business. It's not my task. It's not my job. And I do my best to keep my mouth shut instead of giving the obvious solutions unsolicited. I have no reason to intervene with anyone. It's not my job. But those are the kinds of things that I have to deal with for my controlling nature, where I never saw before that I even thought that it was controlling. Obviously it is. I also decided some time ago to stop worrying about other people's judgments of me. So this was big for me. You can't please everyone, and I know it. And it's not my job to be liked. It's my job to be me, the best me that I can be. It's their own thing. It's their own responsibility, their task, their decision to like me or not like me. And I don't need to worry about what other people think, which brings me back to deconstruct and reconstructing ideas and programs. We were all programmed when we were kids by our parents or whoever raised us and the rest of our environment. So I remember my brother always looking in the mirror. He carried a comb in his pocket. And I remember my mom telling him, stop looking in the mirror so much. You're the only one who cares what you look like. I held that for so long, thinking that looking at myself or caring what I look like was a bad thing. And even when I realized that people actually do care what you look like and first impressions really do stick sometimes, I still refused to look my best. I didn't want anyone to think that I thought I was better than them. I was raised not to be stuck up, and that's what we called it. But it seems like I created a program to allow myself to be stuck down, if that's a thing, to see myself as less than, beneath them, lower than other people. But I changed my mind. I decided to self-author my life. I decided to self-author that, let go of that program. And I decided that the program that I'm not good enough needed to be deconstructed so I could reconstruct it, so I can create a new one that serves me so much better. It doesn't matter what they decide about me. It only matters how I choose to present myself. And yeah, it seems so simple. But you guys can't believe how many times I've had to say out loud to myself, I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. Blessings are chasing me down. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am loving and kind. There's lots more, but you get the idea. Those words are the essence of my true self. That's my nature. Those things are my nature. I didn't need to put myself down all those years. My poor mom, she taught us so much stuff, and I wish I would have learned stress mastery earlier in life because I would love to have been able to help her get out of her own way because boy was she stuck. So here's a couple more funny things that I carried from her. So always make your bed. We had to get up and make our bed first thing every day. We were not allowed to go out without our bed being made. But it was because you never know who might come over and see the bed's unmade. And what would the neighbors think? Oh my gosh. I love that she gave me that habit. And I still always make my bed. I make my bed every day to this day. I know when I was young, it was because I was afraid somebody would come in and see it and what would they think. But as a young married woman, when I had my kids and stuff, I always made the beds, and the bedrooms were upstairs. Well, nobody was ever going to go upstairs and see the beds, but I realized how much better things look. I like my bed to be made. It feels really good for me to have my bedroom looking pretty, even though nobody goes in it but me. And the bonus is, I'm not judgmental about it because I don't care if you make your bed or not. I don't even bug my kids about making their bed, so yay for me. So she also told us, be sure to wear matching socks and have clean underwear on. But it wasn't for personal hygiene. That was just in case you got in an accident and you had to go to the hospital. Again, what would people think? I don't think I need to say any more about that. So you see, as easy as these programs were for me to deconstruct and reconstruct and make new ones, it's all the same process for all of them. The little ones, the big ones, the hard ones, the easy ones, the heavy, the light. You decide what doesn't work for you. Let it go and decide what does work, and then reprogram yourself with that self-authored mind. You get to write the new script. You decide who you are and what you are, the true essence of yourself. So we built the identity that we live today, right? I mean, we decided who we are. But we can change it tomorrow by deciding not to be that anymore. And it will change tomorrow. The only thing that's constant in life is that everything always changes. And here we are, constantly trying to fight it, resisting. Become aware of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Watch the ego. The ego is not you. With awareness, it's easier to stay on the path. You know, the storms are going to come and go. So you got to stay connected to your true self. Stay connected to your purpose, your inner self, your heart. Stay connected to God. Be humble and let life flow through you. It doesn't matter what they think or say. You don't have to be right. This too shall pass. Know that everything is going to be okay and be grateful. It's so easy to cultivate gratitude if you try. Even on the worst days, I can find a million things to be grateful for. Connect to gratitude. Connect to your heart. It raises your energy. You guys, living life as you were meant to live is within your reach. It really is. You just have to make a decision that you're worth it and that you're going to do it. So please go to the Stress Mastery community and do the purpose exercise. It all starts with understanding yourself. Knowing and understanding your true nature will help you so much. And I know that you may be resistant because we all are when we first start, and then we all are along the way too. But now you can go into the Stress Mastery community for free and even join our discussions and stuff. You can meet other people who are finding their way on this journey we call life. And I sure hope to see you there because we'd love to have you. So that's it for my podcast today. And I thank you again for listening today and every day. We have a great podcast 7 days a week. Remember, our mission here is to create a shift in the planet, and you can join us on that mission by simply like, share, and subscribe. The links are right below the show notes. As always, until next time, stay inspired.